Hoi hoi chummers, this is Dan, the GM, welcoming you to What the Dice Halloween special. This season is Shadowrun. Well, let's meet our runner.
Hey there, this is Ethan. I play Cypher, our street samurai. Oh dear, that guy's neck shouldn't have bent that way, and why is he still talking to me?
Listener discretion advised. Content warning level green. Standard Shadowrun subject matter. Foul language, sex, violence, drugs. For all of our content warning, none of these subjects go into graphic detail, but it is involved in the story of the episode. Listener discretion advised.
Hoi 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 chummers, so looks like Cypher might have bitten off a little more than he can chew. He is fallen, and we don't know if he can get up or not. Well, let's talk about the facts. The facts is, he went to no man's land alone. Did not heed the warnings of the locals not to go into a horizon building. Putting all that aside, he did it anyway. Seemed safe enough until, well, let's just say that elevator apparently only goes one way, and that is down. Well, my friends, let's go see if Cypher has made it, and what trouble that troll has gotten himself into. As the camera fades in, we find ourselves in darkness. Absolute, massive darkness. We hear the flicker of electricity off in the distance, but other than that, there's just this eerie silence. As the camera pans down, we see a Cypher. His shoulder-mounted camera still flashing red as it's recording. Eventually we hear the groans as he slowly comes to. He is in just a little bit of what feels like a stagnant water. It is a thick, murky feeling, but he is awake-ish. The camera pans up and we see the axe embedded in one of the elevator doors multiple floors up. Same with his backpack. It seems as if something caught his bag on the way down, saving him from a straight fall and saving him from any damages. Cypher, what would you like to do?
They said there'd be days like this in HQ. Cypher will begrudgingly get up, look up, see his stuff, and damn it, I got mugged by the elevator. Pondering just how his stuff managed to get caught up there, he will check to see if he's still got recording going.
According to your glasses, yes, your recording is still active.
Test his audio.
Audio seems to be coming through just fine. It looks like you might have been unconscious for about 5 minutes.
Well, thankfully, the devil rats down here didn't think I was lunch yet. He'll look around to see what he can spot around him at the moment.
Well, you are in a closed elevator shaft, but give me a perception check.
2 hits.
With those hits, you look around and you realize you're standing on bones. Old, forgotten bones. The water's pretty much eaten away and deteriorated the flesh and organ bits. Sticking out of the doors in front of you is a crowbar. It's old and has that old orange and red coloration to it.
Cypher will look down at the bones and kind of wonder how the hell this guy ended up at the bottom of an elevator shaft with the elevator above him without a broken floor. Well, thanks for breaking my fall, buddy. Look at the crowbar jammed in the door and see if he can use it to pry this door open.
Well, you're a troll, and there's 2 ways to open a door, the right way and the troll way. Go ahead and roll me a strength.
4 hits.
With 4 hits, that elevator just pops open, and it is dark as absolute hell out here. Even with your night, you have low light, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Even with your low light, you have a little bit of a trouble seeing. There's that flicker of light coming from the emergency lighting that is slowly giving up the ghost. But you don't hear anything besides the occasional drip of water or the sounds of just the natural movement of Earth.
Oh, I never like it when it gets stupidly quiet. He'll climb out of the elevator shaft into the room outside of it.
With low light, it's still hard to see. There's no power, but you do see a flickering of light coming from the south.
Yeah, I like that flickeration word. If we have a snake tube, we can have a flickeration.
Great. Going down south, or are you gonna? What do you want to do?
I'll head down south to see if there's some type of the lighting gives me any idea where I'm at in the building.
As you get down to the south, you see this old electrical box. It looks like the lock is still in place, and the emergency light above it is flickering on and off. There's a small sign on it that just says, "Caution, power." Looks like this might be the main breaker for the entire building.
How soaking wet am I?
Just your back. Kind of like, so you basically landed in about 6 inches of water, or mostly water.
Water with meaty bits?
Soupy bits.
Soupy bits.
Now you got a funk to you too.
Cypher will check the power box, just to see how durable that lock is.
It looks like just an old padlock, probably a old pin system one, not like a maglock, not anything advanced. You've probably ripped these off of older lock boxes in your past. They're not designed for... They were designed to keep people out, but you're a troll, you're not peoples.
Ouch.
What? Technically, you're not. You're a troll. You're not people. People is human.
How do you know I'm not a people troll?
So you're a... Well, they would have elf posers, and so you would be a human poser.
No, definitely not. You'll give that lock a good sturdy tug to see how well it holds.
Roll your strength.
4 hits.
With a ease of pull, the lock doesn't break, but the little metal tab that it connects to just snaps. The door swings open, and you just see the main power switch. It looks like at some point it got switched off. Either a surge or maybe 2 wires touched, and it just sent a surge through the system, which just flipped the breaker.
I will survey the box to make sure it's even remotely safe to power that switch back up.
Let's see. Go ahead and roll me hardware, or if you have anything mechanical based, like repairs or anything like that.
I was going to say, I may go with hardware, because I have mechanics, but it's automotive.
It would be the same kind of thing. You're looking for frayed wires and things like that. So I will give it to you, but I would roll the thing that you have the more points in.
Yeah, so I was thinking. 2 hits.
With 2 hits, you look over everything. You don't see any exposed wires. The box itself is dry. Everything looks fine.
Cypher will flip the switch.
With the satisfying... You begin to see the emergency lighting start to actually power on, filling the hallways with this red coloration. But you also hear something different. What sounds like machinery or a pump system activating. There's a couple of options on this. It is either a sump pump system to drain out water, you are underground, or maybe a system that is pumping in fresh air. Those are the 2 most common things you would see in any underground facility.
Any direct way to identify the exact sound?
It kind of feels like it's coming from everywhere. It's that, like, echoey through the empty hallways.
Gotcha.
As you're standing there and you are listening, on the wall next to you to the north, you see what looks like an old cassette player. It is worn in and dusty, and there's a tape loaded in it.
Random Alone here. So my bosses over at Horizon want this new animated character. something that can bridge the gap between generations. They want it to be retro, but modern. I think they want something that they can merchandise real easy with, and can do a bunch of animated crap with. It's a tall order, too. So, sitting in my office, racking my brain, trying to figure out what to do.
As the tape click ends and the world is plunged into silence, what would you like to do?
Well, now I understand what they were trying to go for with this Batty guy. They'll take the cassette and pocket it for now.
Okay. Are you going to take the player with you?
Yeah, I probably should take it if I ever need to listen to anything.
Okay.
I want to club someone with it.
Hey, this thing's an antique. You could actually cash in some cash.
Oh, never mind then.
Because these aren't digital tapes. These are like actual old school cassette tapes.
Alright, Cypher will kind of look around now that there's some emergency lighting illuminating the area a little. Look for signs or something.
You see signs that say like offices, recording studios, production office, main office. You see just the series of signs around. But there's also a lot of destruction, so you don't know exactly what hallways are clear and what aren't until you start maneuvering around.
Well, I'm not going to get anywhere by standing here, so I'm going to head south and check down this hallway over here.
As you're walking around, you have this feeling like something's watching you. You don't know if it's your imagination or what, but there's just that something is out there. As you walk into this hallway, you see down the ways some destruction. You do see a couple of doors that look like they are mostly intact. You could probably get into them pretty easily.
Cypher will scan the hallway a little more intently now that he feels like he's being watched.
Roll your perception.
4 hits.
Nah, just darkness and that eerie sense of something's watching you.
No security cameras that he can see anywhere.
No, not at all.
Cypher will just sigh and make his way to what looks to be the first doorway.
The first hallway, or first doorway you come to, the glass is all smashed out, probably from just age. Because the door seems to be just slightly askew. Maybe the ground settled and the glass just gave up. Looking in, you see what looks like the old Batty Batsworth toys lining the sides. You see the plushed animals, you see the board games, all of them. But they're all this kind of mildewy color from being mostly forgotten.
Damn, nothing vintage in here, is there?
And it's vintage, it's just disgusting.
He'll take a look in there, see if there's anything useful other than mildewy collectibles.
Roll me your perception.
2 hits.
As you are looking around, there's just one thing that you notice. There is a single Batty Batsworth toy that the box it's in is a plastic sealed box. Kind of like those collectible boxes that are airtight sealed. In this Batty Batsworth's hands is one of the Batty Batsworth batarangs that were from a small series where Batty Batsworth was some crime fighter.
Does he remember any of this show from his childhood at all?
Possibly. If you would like, you can either make that call or you can roll a memory and I can tell you.
I'll roll memory.
Okay.
Holy hell, 6 hits.
With 6 hits, I feel like Cypher would have watched like the Batty Batsworth variety hour, like where it's Batty Batsworth is the host, but he has all the other cartoons produced by Horizon, something used for those indie cartoon developers to get their shows greenlit. He probably watched the Batty Batsworth's Hero Hour, where Batty Batsworth was a hero. Maybe even like the Batty Races. Like he probably caught a bunch of the shows that came out. I mean, this was one of Horizon's biggest characters for the longest time.
Cypher's gonna chuckle to himself. He's gonna pick up the collectible. Ah, damn you, nostalgia. And he'll pocket it. With nothing left in this room, he's gonna step out this room and cautiously head down to the next door.
As you head into the next door, the door is basically barely on its hinges. It looks like the top hinge is the only thing holding it in place, and even that, a stiff wind would probably knock it over. Inside, it looks like it used to be a break room for the staff. You see what looks like chunks of a fridge where the ceiling has fallen down on top of it. You see a couple scattered tables. But roll me a perception check.
5 hits.
With 5 hits, you find another tape, and next to the tape is a key that has been painted this neon yellow.
Cypher will pick up the tape and the key.
So what do you want to do with this tape? Do you want to listen to it, or are you going to hold off on it?
I'll slap it in the tape player and see what's on it.
Have you ever had anyone ever tell you, I got this $1 million idea? Yeah. So, an old buddy of mine, Randall Malone, came up to me yesterday, and he's like, Vic Eve, the Vic Star, I got this $1 million idea. Verizon wants me to make a new icon. I think he is literally blowing smoke out his ass. But I heard him out. And, you know, I'm kind of game on this one.
Upon hearing the tape, Cypher will kind of chuckle to himself that as big as this was, that people thought it was just smoke out, people blowing smoke out their ass over it.
To the west, there's some rubble that's completely blocking the walkways.
Well, I guess it's time to go the other way. And Cypher will start making his way down the hallway towards the north.
As you're walking around, you still have that feeling like something is watching you. And you still don't know if it's just the eeriness of the darkness, or if it's the feel of this air. It feels heavy. It feels uncomfortable. It's hard to tell exactly what it is.
Anything I can roll to see if it's something more paranormal, or?
You are not a mage, so no.
Yeah, okay then. I can wiggle my fingers and cast stuff. You don't know that. Alright, Cypher will cautiously head down this northern hallway, taking a look around at what he sees.
As you pass, there are 2 doors that cross each other. One of them says production office, the other one says brainstorming office. So north is brainstorming, south is the other.
Cypher will go into the north door. Check it, make sure it's open.
Door is open. Looks like the lock has long given up. You open it in, and there are whiteboards and chalkboards lining the walls. You see old notes of old cartoon sketch ideas, new villains or new heroes to help with the adventures of Batty Batsworth. You even see a couple of possible old storyboards that are sitting untouched. A handful of handwritten notes on them. Roll me a perception check.
4 hits.
With 4 hits, you are walking around. You find a couple of things that are interesting. One, you find a Batty Batsworth licensed forever pen, a pen that is advertised that will never run out of ink to help spur on all your dreams. And it's in good condition. Looks like it's been used a couple of times. You see a couple of comm links that are old as hell. The screens are cracked and damaged. There's battery acid leaking from them. And then you find this jacket, kind of like a blazer. As you lift it up and look through it, you feel the weight of something. And as you dig around in the pockets, you find another tape.
What the hell's all the tapes around here, man? Does no one ever remember shit? He'll pop the old tape out and put a new tape in and play it.
So Randall came up to me today. Well, come up is play it passively. Poor boy was damn near singing his lungs off. Ella, I have this great opportunity. We can put our mark on animation. Rattled on about how it seemed like Horizon wants a new big thing. Guess they're fresh out of ideas. Their farm is run dry. Randall wasn't clear on the details, though. He's an hopeful fool. I don't know what he's thinking. But if the pay is there, well, maybe it'll put us in a better place.
No, sounds like a last ditch effort to me. He'll put the recorder back in his bag, or wherever I'm holding it at.
I feel like you found like some kind of twisted piece of metal and you've made one of those like makeshift hooks.
I could see that.
Anything else you want to do while you're in here?
You never know when a pen could come in handy. I'll snatch that pen. After all, I may need to take notes. Or stab someone. And give them forever ink poisoning.
All right.
I will, now that this room is empty, I will check out the production room to the south.
Walking into this production room, the door is unlocked, clearly for people to come and go during meetings. You see notes scribbled across the walls on the whiteboards. Things of, the new movies they have planned, new TV series, a video game. All of this just scrawled out across wall to wall. Unlike the last room, there's no tables. This is all just open seating. Besides a podium that stands up front. What would you like to do?
I'm going to go check that podium.
As you walk up to the podium, the first thing you notice is there's another tape. As you look down, you see all the wires that are designed for recording sound inside the production office, mostly to make notes. And then, at the very bottom, you find, strangely enough, what looks like a water shutoff valve, one of those circular ones. It seems strange and out of place, and it has got this yellowish hue painted to it.
Well, that's a damn weird place for a water shutoff valve. Cypher will, before screwing with the valve, he'll play the next tape.
Well, after signing the contract with Horizon, I've decided to open Ruby Screen Studio. Per my request, I was able to set up my own team. There's me. I'll be the director and creative lead. The head of music and sound effects will be Ella Clark. And my character designer and storyboard artist is going to be Vic Dale. I've worked with these people in the past, and they've always been really good to work with.
Oh, you can't complain. You get to set up your own team. Cypher will check the water. My brain just stopped.
The water shutoff valve?
Yes, thank you. That is it in the open or is it in the shut position?
It's just sitting there. It's not attached to any pipe.
Finding that odd and kind of coincidental, he'll take it.
You pick it up, and it's made from iron? Yeah, that feels got the weight of iron. You could definitely knock someone out with this.
Crowbar and a water shutoff lever. I'm good. He will exit the room here and come down to the cross sections here in the hallway. Take a look what he sees.
Looks like to the north there's bathrooms, as well as Vic Dale's office, as well as what looks like musical instrument storage.
Cypher will head north to the first door he comes across, keeping an eye on things as he goes.
As you're walking, you've got that eerie feeling like something is watching you. You stop and look around, and there's nothing, and you continue on. As you get to this first door, in this silvery pewter lettering across this old metal door, it says Vic.
Has the presence that's watching me, has it gotten stronger or stayed the same?
It stayed the same. It's just that, like, eerie feeling like you're being watched, but you don't know where from. But it doesn't feel hostile, but it doesn't feel comfortable.
I feel like I should be playing that 80s song. Anyway, Cypher will check the knob, see if this door's open, unlocked or not.
It's unlocked, and it's a slide door. You push it off to the side, and inside, this is Vic's office. You see a large metal desk that is strewn with different notes and things of that nature for character designs. He's got one wall that is completely covered in concepts, images of Batty Batsworth in different costumes, different facial features, even to the point of more variations to his design. Some more up-to-date, some more retro. Looks like he is, or was, before whatever happened, might have been working on something.
Can Cypher recall when the studio shut down or when Batty went off the air?
No, because it was into syndication, so it was more of the, like, oh, I've seen this episode before. Like, it's one of those, like, something's been in syndication for so long, you don't really remember when it ended.
Gotcha.
Especially with how they treated Batty Batsworth's shows. There were so many variations and so many different series and movies, it was hard to keep track of exactly everything.
Alrighty. Cypher will at least go in and check out the office, check the desk, see if there's anything interesting in here.
Opening up the desk, you find an empty bottle of whiskey, another empty bottle of whiskey, a couple packs of unsmoked cigarettes that are old and moldy, a tape, and a red key.
Cypher will pick up and pocket the red key. Well, there's been tapes everywhere I've gone. He'll also make sure there's no tapes in here.
You found a tape. It was inside the desk as well.
Alrighty. He's like, well, no need to break tradition here. He'll pop out the old tape, put a new one in.
So Randall wasn't lying. That hopeful little fool actually found something. His great opportunity was actually just that. Gotta admit, I'm kind of surprised. I just got back from the groundbreaking party for the new studio. It's in some unknown little town called Evans. It is nothing but a quaint town you'd pass on any other highway. Nothing there, nothing to see. But the studio is state of the art, and it looks like I'm gonna be taking on the role of music and sound effect director.
Evans. Cypher will stop and think if he's ever heard of this town.
Well, the way the towns ended up with when they became no man's land is usually one of the corporations or multiple corporations bought up the land and tried to turn into either storage rooms or tried to use them as like testing areas. Especially with as technology, some of these no man's lands were testing sites for new designs for stuffer shacks, so that their buildings were always in a constant sense of flux. The problem is, this was before corporations had as much power over the governments as they did, so constantly tearing down and rebuilding buildings became a nuisance, because the government wouldn't go, well, yeah, you can do whatever you want, we don't care. So what they would do is buy up huge slots of land, do what they want, and then if they weren't making money or if they weren't producing any viable points, they just basically dropped the project and left whatever was there to rot.
Gotcha. Alright. Cypher will go up to the northern doors, take a look at the right door and see what it is.
The right door, it looks like it might have been a bathroom. It's hard to say. It looks like the stalls that are there were crushed under some falling ceilings, and there are mirrors that are damaged.
Well, in Cypher's line of work, you always check a restroom because people are dumb and leave key cards and other such things in there, so he'll give it a quick once-over.
All right. Walking in, the mirrors are all cracked and shattered. There's that drip of water from the faucets. Looking around, you find a skeleton that was crushed under the ceiling. You find in the wastebasket nothing of significance. but roll me your perception.
2 hits.
With 2 hits, you begin to look, and as you stare at the mirror for a second, a very short second, you see movement out of the corner of your eye, reflecting in the mirror. You look back and there's nothing. You look out the door, and all you see is this standee of Batty Batsworth. It's leaning against the wall, and it has this cartoon smile and pie-shaped eyes just staring vacantly into the nothingness. It's cardboard, it's mildewy, but you don't remember seeing it there a second ago.
Can I do a check with extraplanar threats or magical threats?
Yes, you can.
Does one cover the other, or do I just do both?
Just one. Extraplanar threats are going to be identifying threats, the other's going to be identifying other parts.
Alright, 5 hits with extraplanar threats.
You know from your training that there is variations of darkness that can mess with your senses. They're not necessarily extraplanar thoughts, it's more of just this natural subconscious fear that everyone has. But at the same time, you know that there are creatures that are threatening that can only mess with your head. They thrive off of fear. But usually there's some kind of tell. Usually there's more claw marks. There's more advert directional fear. Things of whispers of your name or things that are directed towards you. This just feels very broad stroke paranoia, as if the darkness is just messing with you.
Cypher, thinking back on his training, he'll see if he can calm himself down a little.
Yeah, quick breathing exercise, a reminder of, you can handle this, you've been trained for it, that kind of stuff. Yeah, easy done.
But he will at least, now that he knows that there could be potentially something down here, he'll at least have the crowbar on hand and a little more cautious as he's going around.
Okay. You don't find anything else in the bathrooms.
Alright, what's across the hall from the bathroom?
Across the hall, it says instrument storage. Peering inside through the broken glass, you see tubas and trombones and what looks like they used to be drums, but the cloth has rotted away, leaving nothing.
Alright, he'll open the door, take a look around, see if there's anything smaller that he may have missed from just a cursory glance through a door.
Give me a perception check.
5 hits.
With 5 hits, you do notice something in the corner. It's a small little roll-around desk, things for cleaning supplies and stuff like that. But you notice that sitting next to all the cleaning tools that are damaged and rusty is another one of those tapes.
I knew there had to be a tape around here. He'll pop the old tape and slam in the new one.
Well, I moved to this nothing town to find a state-of-the-art animation studio. And for the next few days, Randall and I gotta figure out a new cartoon character.
Huh. New cartoon character, huh? Wonder if it was Batty or someone else. He'll take that tape, stow it, give the room a once over again, and then head down to the southwest where he saw another door at.
This door has fallen. You basically just walk over it. Inside, it looks like this was a room that they were designing the t-shirts. You see different concepts of Batty Batsworth in different country clothing. You even see some of Batty Batsworth in different outfits and driving a little car. Like, it's very much... This animation studio also seemed to do all the marketing or designing the marketing for Batty's Batsworth. As you look around, you notice that there is a lever. What looks like a old school ball and handle lever sitting stowed behind some old forgotten t-shirts.
Like connected, or just a lever not connected to anything?
Just a lever just laying there.
Cypher will chuckle to himself, pick it up, and keep it.
And give me a perception check.
3 hits.
3 hits.
You look like you're about to walk out, and then you just stop and you notice that one of the computers is flickering. You walk over and you notice that it's not attached to anything. It looks like the computer base station that it was connected to is shorted out. Looks like water had dripped onto it. As you give it a light shrug and moved off, you notice that there's a little tape sticking out from behind the monitor.
Huh. You reach over and grab that tape.
Ugh. 3 weeks I have been sketching, using different styles, different animals, everything, and I just don't like what I'm seeing. But I gotta turn something in. The deadline for the first round is coming up, and it's coming up quick.
Oh, trouble in paradise. Cypher will put the tape away and head back down to the intersection down the hallway. Actually, no, I'm gonna check that creepy ass bat cardboard cutout.
The standee?
Yes.
What standee? There's nothing there.
So the standee that he saw that was triangle-eyed, staring off into oblivion, is now gone.
Yep.
Cypher will just sigh, like, irritating.
Down at the intersection, the door seems to be swinging back and forth in the room. You hear it just lightly tapping against something. You're not sure what.
A door down to the left or down to the right?
It's the one that's right in front of you.
He'll peer through the door.
As you peer through the door, this looks like it might have been an office. It's definitely seen some better days. The desk is completely crushed. The handful of posters that were on the wall are completely burned and ashened, blackened with time and what looks like fire damage. The standee that's in there is broken in half. Looks like it has been stabbed with scissors and pens, and oddly enough, what looks like a gear, a toothed gear, definitely is sticking inside the standee.
Can you see what's causing the door to swing?
It looks like it is just a very lightweight door that is just moving with the slightest breeze.
He'll open the door and step into the room, take a look around further.
Roll a perception.
4 hits.
With 4 hits, besides the strange, large-toothed gear, you look around in the rubble, and just underneath what looks like a cigar box, you see another tape.
Anything in the cigar box?
The tape.
Alright, he'll check that tape out.
28 hours of straight Erica concept. Nothing looks good, nothing feels right, nothing, and I mean nothing, is good enough to pitch. So we pick our 5 best, and let's just say best is like bottom of the barrel. But we needed something to pitch.
Guess animating a cartoon ain't as easy as they thought. Cypher will take that metal gear out of the cutout and give it a once over, but hang it on his metal hook.
Okay. It's a metal gear, something that you would find in maybe like an elevator lock system, something that's going to interlock with other gears and things of that nature.
Alright, Cypher will skirt around the debris here, move down the hall a little further.
As you skirt around, you happen to just glance at this half-destroyed door where the rubble is crushed down across it. And there's one of those standees just pinned against the glass, just staring at you.
Cypher will tip his head to it. And does that door say, like, what that room would have been?
No, it's completely smashed.
Alright, he does nothing on the standee that he can see.
No, it's just a standee.
Well, the standee can stand there. I'm going to go check this other door.
Are you going north or south?
This south door first.
The south door, as you push it open, it's what looks like maybe a maintenance closet. You see smashed buckets, and the smell of cleaning chemicals is pretty potent in here. You also find a trash can that is filled with crumpled papers and things of that nature.
Mindful of the chemicals, he'll give the room a good once-over before moving on.
All right, give me your perception.
2 hits.
With 2 hits, you find these weird, I guess you would call them deedly bops. I'm not sure what they're actually called, but they're the headbands with bat ears on the top of them. You usually would find these at theme parks and things like that. And then as you look around again, you notice that sitting just under a layer of trash in the trash can, underneath a couple of pages, you see what looks like the plastic edge of a tape.
Go dig in the trash and grab a tape. Alright, let's see what they gotta say today.
I had my first meeting with Horizon today. I gave them 5 ideas. A squirrel, a mouse, a cat, a snake. I don't even remember the last one, but none of them were good. So, here I am again, at the storyboard, trying desperately to figure something out. Just something to get the creative juices flowing.
Nothing sucks like creator block. He'll check the door to the north.
The door to the north inside is what looks like an empty room. Looks like it was originally furnished at one point, but it looks like it may have been cleaned out, possibly storage. You see metal racks haphazardly lining the walls. You see boxes that are still plastic sealed. Inside them you see pencils and actual goodness paper, which is damp at this point. You see old celluloid cells, as well as paintbrushes and everything an artist that uses traditional means would need.
Cypher will check the door, see if it's locked, and if it's not, he'll go in and check that stuff out.
As you push inside, the door is... You kind of have to push on it to get it to push through the rubble. As you step in, yeah, it's an art room, like an art supply room, which seems odd because they keep talking about how this is such an advanced facility. Granted, this could just be for quick sketches and things of that nature. You haven't really seen any production-worthy equipment. One of the things you do notice is that there's a box filled with plastic tapes that are still sealed in their plastic, except for one that is just sitting on top of the box.
Cypher will eye it, and he's like, why do I feel like someone's just leaving these here for me? He'll go over, pick it up, and put it in the tape player and listen.
So, after the meeting, I went to this old shop in town. I needed something to clear my head, and I ended up walking into this old comic book shop. Start digging around, and nothing. So, I start heading out. I'm sitting there thinking, there's nothing in this fucking world that's gonna save us. But I saw this old thrift store and I decided I'd swing through there. They had a pretty decent book selection. Old characters, old novels, old books, stuff that's actually really cool to find. And then I found it. This book about old cartoon characters, like the Noodly Arms ones. I got a kick out of it, so I bought it, and me and Randall started to work with it, and I think we got something.
Huh. Leave it to the old stuff to inspire the new.
Give me a quick perception check.
2 hits.
With 2 hits, you find this trophy. It's a paintbrush dipped in gold on a golden stand. Well, quote-unquote golden stand. And it just says Artist of the Month. And it looks like they have one of those like peel-away labels that you can change out names constantly.
Whose name is on it currently?
It is currently blank.
This is like one of those everyday trophies you can get at a trophy store, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This looks like it might have been something as like, this artist did 15 sales in 1 hour. They're going to be Artist of the Month. It's just basic corporate BS. Like, even when you pick it up, it feels like featherweight plastic. You're honestly surprised it didn't crush when you just lifted it up, how cheaply made it is.
I wonder if I should take this home and change it to a runner of the month and see who causes the most mayhem. Now, who am I kidding? Sparkles will blow something up and win that every month, damn it. Cypher will leave the trophy, the cheap-ass trophy, and continue down the hall into the bigger area.
In the bigger area, you notice that the first thing you notice is that the stairs are completely destroyed. There's huge chunks of rubble that are blocking your way to going up. But then you notice to the northwest, the viewing theater.
Yeah, Cypher will. Why not? Let's see what was viewing in here before this place shut down.
As you walk in, you see this massive white, what used to be white screen stretched across the back wall. You see about 30 or 40 seats with little tables that can be folded up or put down so that you can make notes comfortably. Looking up, you see the projection booth. And as you start to turn to walk away to look around some more, you hear the projector turn on. And you see one of the old Batty Batsworth commercials play. There's no sound, there's no music, but this old familiar bat dancing across the screen looks like it might have been an advertisement for the cereal that used to come out. You remember the words of the, it's crunchalistic, makes your milk taste like chocolate. Those old keywords to make any kid want this cereal.
Cypher will chuckle to himself on the nostalgia, but wonder what kicked the projector on. Is there like an actual projector room, or?
Yes, there's an actual projector room, but you can't get access to it from this room.
All right, Cypher will tip his head to Batty. You keep dancing there, Batty, and he'll continue on from now. Actually, no. I'm gonna check to see if anything got left on any of the little tables in here.
All right, perception check.
2 hits.
As you're walking through the aisle to aisle and looking at each and every desk, you step down, you hear the slight crunch of plastic. Not enough to where it sounds like it broke, but it's that indication of you've stepped on something. Looking down, it looks like you found yourself another tape.
Oof, that could have ended badly for you, Mr. Tape.
So I found something. It came to me during a production meeting last night. We were talking about these old 1930 cartoons. They were simple, they were cute, they had the noodle arms, they worked. So I quick sketched up a couple of ideas. Vic and I went back and forth, and we ended up coming up with this bat with pie-shaped eyes. It was absolutely brilliant.
And here Batty is born. Cypher will put the tape away and start heading south around the stairs to see if there's anything further this way.
Roll me one quick perception check.
4 hits.
As you finish listening to the tape, your eyes kind of drift up to the projection screen. That commercial that's been playing on loop is still going, but something doesn't look right. It almost seems like, for a moment, instead of looking forward on the screen like he would have always done, it almost feels like his eyes were looking down at you. You watch the screen for a moment, and no, it was just an illusion, just a trick of the light. As you exit out, you look back as the sound of the projector clicking as its tape has ran out, and the lights inside click off, and it switches back to the red lights.
Cypher will just groan to himself of, yeah, either I'm losing my mind or the bat light has got a thing for me. I can't tell which at the moment. Cypher will now move further south along the debris wall to the south.
As you move through this last hallway, you can kind of guess where you're at based on the wall colorations and things like that. You do see a sign that says guest and PR bathrooms, as well as multiple storage rooms, things of that nature.
Alright, he'll come to the first door. He sees check to see if there's any signage on what this room was.
Looks like this is like a concession vending machine room. You could see the hue, the glow of a vending machine light. Looks like the vending machine glass has been shattered out. You could see a couple of what looks like maybe water dripping from the ceiling. But one thing you notice that is just sitting in the debris is another one of those tapes.
Cypher will see. Does the door swing out or swing in?
Swings out.
Cypher will cautiously open the door since there is debris in there.
As you swing it open, a couple of loose stones roll forward. Nothing too bad. You glance over at the vending machine and it looks like something smashed it. You see what looks like maybe a piece of rebar through it. All the snacks have been stolen away.
That the day you forget to bring your cred chip, get your snack. It happens all the time. Cypher will go in there and get the tape.
I have my started sketch up. The smile, the eyes, the little wings. It's perfect. So I tested the idea with my kids. My daughter absolutely loves how cute he is, and my son likes the wings. Seems like these rough sketches are worth taking to Horizon. And who knows, this might be exactly what we need.
Huh. His kids liked it and he ran with it. I guess you can't go wrong with that, I suppose. Cypher will move to the next door, adjacent to the hallway going north.
As you look at this door, you notice something's weird. It looks like there are these lock mechanisms that are drawn on, but they're not two-dimensional. They're three-dimensional. They look like those old Batty Batsworth locks from when he was a hero. These tumbler systems, these levers, these switches, all what look like drawn in place. Grabbing the door, you get a firm pull, and the door is locked. The handle turns, but these strange cartoon-like lock systems seem to be holding the door closed.
He goes, huh, this is an odd lock. He'll take a look at the mechanisms and see what he can figure out.
Are you a cartoon character?
Well, you see, no, I am not a cartoon.
There's supposed to be a rhyme or reason for lock making. There's supposed to be rules of physics that happen. These break all those rules. This screams extraplanar because it's a cartoon that is literally interacting with the real world.
Alright, I'm going to roll extraplanar threats and see if this thing is threatening me.
Okay.
3 hits.
It's a lock. It's not threatening. It's just there.
Alright, dumb question. Do any of the lock mechanisms match any of the weird items I've picked up on my travel?
No. Not right now.
Alright. Alright, just note to HQ, possible extraplanar problem here. Looks like animated cartoon existing and reacting with real world. For further study later, if I don't figure it out before I leave. With that door being locked, he will go northeast into this room with all these circles on the map.
As you walk into this northeastern area, you see all these cartoon-like pedestals lining the area. These pedestals that you're looking at are kind of they would remind you of like cell-shaded, the way they're done. Each one has some kind of symbol on them, but you would have to get closer to identify it. Behind you, you see the two bathroom doors. One says female, one says male.
Before he goes and messes with the pedestals, he's going to check the restrooms just to make sure no one left any keys or anything valuable behind.
Okay. As you walk into the first bathroom, it's the women's bathroom. Most of the stalls are completely destroyed by where the roof had caved in, except for the main handicap bathroom stall. The door is slightly ajar, and you can see just by a glance the toilet, the mirror, the sink, the area where the hand towels are dispensed, and sitting on the sink is a tape.
I knew you wouldn't let me down. He'll go in and grab the tape.
So the bigwigs finally approved the design. Took Horizon long enough. Some sort of cute bat. Guess I can't say anything bad about a cute bat. The storyboarding meeting went well, and it looks like the first episode needs to be ready in 6 months? Kind of a tight deadline if you ask me. But who's surprised? We will be working for the high and mighty Horizon. I'm excited for this job. I can't say that I'm excited for the big ol' wage writing the checks. Your job's a job, eh?
Indeed, lady, a job is a job. He'll stow the tape, head out of this restroom, and go towards the other restroom.
As you walk into this bathroom, it's the men's bathroom. It's not as destroyed, at least by most of the stall standards. It looks like 1.5 stalls were destroyed. Peering through each of the bathroom stalls, you don't find anything of great note. But give me a perception check.
3 hits.
Looking around, you notice that haphazardly by the trash can behind it is a small glint of plastic. Looks like you have found another tape.
Sneaky little tape. He'll pick it up and load it up.
Well, that meeting went better than I expected. I introduced the character to Ella and Vic. The designs were simple enough that the computer can make easy animations, which means we can automate a lot of this. We just had to settle on a name. We liked the name Batsworth. So, Batty Batsworth. And I think this is gonna work.
Now he has his name. Good old Batty Batsworth. Alright, if there's nothing in there, he'll finally go check these pedestals out.
As you look over these pedestals, you start to notice a trend. You see one where it looks like a set of gears and cogs that come up out of the pedestal into a series of interlinking gears that are missing some pieces and then back down. You see what looks like a ink well that is empty. You see what looks like a pressure gauge that is currently reading 0. You see what looks like a place where a lever or some kind of pull mechanism goes. And then something very distinct. The indication or cutout of a Batty Batsworth batarang.
Cypher is like, but if I take it out of the box, it's not going to be worth anything, damn it. Can't win for winning. But he'll start taking the assorted items and placing them in their proper places in the pedestals.
It takes a couple of minutes before you're able to get the gear in place. The lever is a little struggling to find the catch to get it to screw in place. The water shutoff valve is very simple. It's twists and lock in place. The batarang locks in place, and you can feel what it almost pops up like it's a button. As you look at everything, it looks like these are interconnected systems. And then you start to think back at the Batty Batsworth cartoon show. Give me a memory roll.
2 hits.
It takes you longer than you care to admit, but you do remember a particular episode of Batty Batsworth, the Bat Crusader, where he created some kind of hidden base inside of his condo. It required ink, water pressure, and then a gear system. And you look over it, and this is the exact setup. So you start to go through the process. You put the gear in place and make sure it links together. You put the forever ink pen into the empty ink vial, and it begins to fill up with ink. You walk over to the valve and you begin to twist it to where you're starting to see medium pressure, keeping everything just under red lines. As you pull the lever, you begin to hear what sounds like water pumping or something thicker. As you hear what sounds like gears and cogs click, and what sounds like something melting, like liquefying. You follow the sound and you notice that the strange cartoon-like locks that were in place are beginning to drip down like ink, wet ink, onto the ground. Looking back at the locking mechanisms, they're doing the same thing. They're just slowly congealing into this black ink.
Cypher will make sure he is definitely recording this process for the HQ to investigate later.
Okay. And into that last room then?
Yep, once the ink is everything's melted and done doing what it's doing, he's going to go check this room out.
Walking in, the door swings open with ease. Looking up, you see a ladder that leads up to the next floor, but you can't reach it. Then you start to look down and you notice there's a tape dangling right in front of you, tied off with a string that connects to that ladder that you could pull the string down and get the ladder to drop down to you.
He'll take the tape off and then pull the string down and then plug that tape in and listen to it.
So it's been a few weeks at the new office. Everyone seems to be buzzing with excitement. The smell of the new carpet's still in the air. Figured that would have faded by the 3rd day. Proves me wrong. Cartoon is starting to make ground. Horizon seems to be hands off so far. It's kind of nice. The art style seems to match well enough with the music that I'm designing. I have to say, it's kind of fun. I also, dare I say, think we might have a chance on this.
Still interesting that they're just still filling this out and getting used to the idea of it working. Still, we gotta wonder what happened here. Kind of weird with the way this place looks. Cypher will head into the office fully and give it a good look around, see whose office this was.
It's not an office. It looks like it was drawn here. I mean, it looks lifelike. But there are those indications of where you can see pen strokes. Even the ladder as it comes down almost has this cartoonish look to it.
Alright, HQ. Definitely extra planar. I'm not sure what type of creature or interference, whatever this is. Room has taken on a cartoon-like appearance to the point of pen strokes or brush strokes on the wall. Even the ladder going up looks kind of cartoonish. Definitely recommend sending a team in here at some point. And with that, he will head up the ladder to the next floor.
As you begin to climb up this ladder, the sounds of some kind of pumping machine starts to get louder. As you open up this hatch above you, and the door swings back and hits the ground behind you with a loud, we end this episode here.
Eddie Sparks here. So, I don't know about you, but I kind of remember when, Batty Batsworth was big on the air. It was a weird kind of show. I mean, you think exploitation of the working class is just full-wage slaves. Nah, this poor cartoon was everywhere. Cereal, t-shirts, shoes. They even had a couple decks that were rigged up to be all Batty Batsworth. So, there's something going on. This place seems odd. Know what I mean? Well, he's getting himself out slowly. Looks like he's only got a couple of floors to deal with. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Well, something is watching us from the shadows, which means it's time for me to get going. Remember, my friends, the rules of shadow running. Stick to the shadows. Always keep your gun loaded. And never make a deal with a dragon. This is Eddie Sparks, and I am silent. Out!
Hey everyone, Nightland here, co-creator of What the Dice, and player of Sparkles for Season 2, to do some thank yous here at the end of our episode. First and foremost, I would like to thank each and every single one of you for listening. We would not be here today without you, and I do mean that sincerely. We never thought we would get this far, and knowing that there's someone out there, yeah, I'm talking to you, the one with the earballs listening right now. If it wasn't for you guys and us knowing that you're actually here and enjoying what you're listening to, we wouldn't have kept going, and it genuinely fills our heart with joy, and I want to make sure that we tell you every single time at the end of these episodes. We are eternally grateful. Second, we would like to take a moment to thank all the things that we use in our day-to-day What the Dicey ways. First up, Epidemic Sound for our sound effects and music, Podbean for being our host, Foundry VTT, and Forge VTT for creating their virtual tabletop gaming applications and services, Craigbot for our recordings, Catalyst Game Labs for Shadowrun, which is the current system we are running. And with that, if you can spare a moment of effort and want to help us out, the best thing that you can do is honestly, tell a friend, share us, drop a link in a Discord somewhere that you're a part of, or take that 2-second effort of hitting a like, hitting a follow, giving us a star rating. Whatever the button is on whatever it is that you're listening to us on goes a long way in helping us fight that horrible algorithm monster. Also, the Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in the connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to What the Dice to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary material for the promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with What the Dice in any official capacity whatsoever.